It is my pleasure to welcome our guests. First of all, Sascha Müller is with the service provider Iteratec. He claims to be the go-to guy on his LinkedIn when it comes to AI and optimizing processes with it. So in that position, he has, among many others, worked with Georg Weyrich. He is the managing director of Stadtwerke Speyer, that is the municipal utility of the city of Speyer. Georg will share how he embarked on the journey with Sascha's support to go into AI. But first of all, I think, Sascha, you will start. Welcome to you both. I'm very much looking forward to what you have to say.
Thank you very much, Anna, for the warm welcome. Also, welcome to everybody from my side to our presentation, how municipal utilities, we will probably call them Stadtwerke in our presentation, are entering the world of AI. My name is Sascha Müller. I already said I'm market lead, AI and data analytics for a company called Iteratec. As market lead, I support our customers and those who want to be customers in finding the right use case and develop the right technical approach to leverage added value for those use cases. In this role, I also supported Stadtwerke Speyer on their journey and continue to do so. As you can see, we are now even appearing together at events. So, which means we have a great partnership that has been developed here. And that's exactly how we at Iteratec see ourselves as partners on eye level with our customers. But more about Iteratec in a moment. Now I would like to hand over to Georg Weyrich from Stadtwerke Speyer.
Hello, thank you very much, Sascha. My name is Georg Weyrich and I'm the managing director of Stadtwerke Speyer, and I will call it the driver and the background of the city of Speyer. With a background in business informations, I work on driven digital innovations, sustainability and customer-focused solutions to support energy transition and the smart city development. And please excuse me, sometimes I would drink a little bit of tea because I have a bit of a cold, so if my voice fades during the presentation, I hope you will be patient with me. So, furthermore, our slogan is powering sustainability future in Speyer, and our mission is to ensure a sustainability, efficient and customer-focused supply of energy and services today and for the future of generations in our city and the region all over. What we offer to our customers is green energy. Our goal is 100% renewable electricity for all in Speyer, clear, pure water, high-speed internet, and smart mobility solutions. And who we are? We are a modern Stadtwerk, all over all sustainabilities, electricity, gas, water, and heating. And we supply networks more than 1,600 kilometers, serving over 75,000 customers, employing more than 300 people. And all over that, we are part of the Entsorgungsbetriebe Speyer. It's waste management services, part of the Verkehrsbetriebe Speyer, public transport services, and the operator of Bademax, a sports and leisure pool.
Thank you very much. Now, please let me also have a few words about Iteratec, what we are doing. We're basically a service provider. So we at Iteratec develop professional and scalable software solutions for our customers. We are a team of 500 to 600 colleagues in Germany and other German-speaking countries. So We're not an AI company, but we have been developing solid software for more than 28 years now. And one very prominent example is our collaboration in the Deutsche Bahn Navigator. For example, if you have used the comfort check-in there, this is something that has been developed by Iteratec. And one topic at Iteratec, what we call it, an area or a field at Iteratec is AI and data analytics. Almost 30 people are now primarily involved in projects in this area. And that is also how the collaboration with Stadtwerke Speyer came about. And also a few more words about that area down here on the right. We provide our customers very comprehensive support from early creation phases through the development to the operation of application. Also, we coach our partners, or we partner with our customers to create good solutions. That's basically what we do. Our ambition is at the center. We want to develop our customers to digital champions. Okay, enough for the marketing slides. let's dive deeper into into our topic: how Stadtwerke, municipal utilities, are entering the world of AI. I mean, why do utilities want to enter the world of AI in the first place? Why is everyone talking about AI right now? What happened? So everyone is now talking about AI, and the answer is almost everywhere the same: ChatGPT. So does that mean that everyone simply wants to have such a cool, intelligent chatbot? Or is it more the technology behind that is more exciting, that opens up so many new possibilities for us, things that weren't possible 5 or 10 years ago? And a chat interface is just the easiest way to see the possibilities of generative AI and large language models and make these new technology accessible to a broad audience. So allow me in this first slide to give you a brief overview of different disciplines and forms of artificial intelligence. Because if you research into artificial intelligence, it has been going on since 1950s. So for over 70 years. And let's call this area classic AI. Classic AI is we prefer to use neural networks to learn from large amounts of data, to recognize patterns, to make predictions, find anomalies in data, maybe classify images, only to name a few examples. At this area, like I said, it's more than 70 years old now. But still, we're here in 2025 and are now talking about AI. Not a lot of people that are here probably thought about AI like 40 years ago. So then there's the field of generative AI. And as the name suggests, we use AI here in this area to generate new content. I will go a bit more into detail about generative AI on the next slide. So after all, this is probably the beginning to where everyone wanted to talk about AI. The next thing you probably also have heard about is agentic AI. Some even call 2025 the year of agentic AI. This is where, agentic AI would be a whole presentation in itself, so I'm not going into it very deep here. But what we're doing in agentic AI, we give so-called agents access to tooling. And we let agents communicate with each other in a team, like you have teams in your company, we have AI teams in our company. And we don't no, we no longer tell the agent exactly what to do, but rather give the agent a goal and let the agent more or less independently perform actions to achieve that goal. In doing so, the agent can react independently, change its environment, react to its environment, and react to maybe changes in the data or changes in sensory input and stuff like this. And the agent does all that to perform tasks in a targeted manner. And where are we heading right now? So we have a classic AI, generative AI, agentic AI. Where are we heading? Heading at? We call that holistic AI. This is combining the just mentioned AI disciplines with each other and trying to derive a holistic view and to derive holistic value from our data. So we will, in the future, we will no longer notice where AI is used in our applications. We are moving away from the proof of concept stages towards mature, scalable, secure software solutions. And it's no longer about technology of artificial intelligence. Instead, we are thinking in terms of solutions and we're putting the people at the center, not the technology. So this is, you could say, we are at the moment mostly in this area and trying to achieve this area with getting out of the proof of concept stage, concept stages to mature software solutions. But let's get back to generative AI. Essentially, generative AI brings us two major revolutions, two things that were simply not possible 5 years ago. Let's say 10 years ago. And first is a new, or rather a more sophisticated human-machine interaction through natural language. Just think of it, we are now able to talk with our machines. You could say we were able to talk with our machines before. All you have to do, you have to know the right language to do so. So if you were able to speak or write Java, C#, Python code, you were able to talk with your machines. But this is not necessary anymore. Thanks to generative AI and large language models, we now have kind of a universal translator into our own natural language. And this universal translator doesn't just go from us to the machine, it also works from our data to the machine or from the machine to us. So it's not only that we can ask the machine questions, the machine can also answer us in our language. And before generative AI, a lot of data was simply very difficult or maybe even impossible for machines to progress. So I was talking about two major revolutions, and one is the new interaction between human and machine, and the other one is our access to unstructured data. Unstructured data are PDFs, drawings, images, videos, audio recordings, WhatsApp messages, emails. These are all unstructured data. They are not very good to process with machines. But now that machines can speak our language, we are now able to automatically process this data. And as you can imagine, a majority of the data that we have in our companies is unstructured data. And now we can process that data automatically. This enables us to a complete new area of use cases that we could not leverage before. So if we want to leverage these new opportunities in our company, we have to start somewhere. And at Iteratech, we recommend approaching this challenge because it is a challenge. There is a new technology. We want to use it to create value. So how do we approach that? And we would advise to approach it from two angles. On the one hand, of course, there's the top-down approach. In our top-down approach, we create guidelines within which our departments and projects, so our project teams can operate. For example, we release tools, we provide a playground, in short, we enable our employees and project teams to implement AI use cases. So, for example, developing an AI strategy makes totally sense. Where do we want to use AI? What do we want to achieve with it? And also, this shows our employees and project teams that the management is behind them and supports their plans. But if there is a top-down approach, of course, there must be also a bottom-up approach. And in our bottom-up approach, we select small value-adding use cases and implement them. Without waiting for the big AI strategy to be finalized, for all the discussions to be concluded, we just start. This creates excitement. This creates ownership in the project teams and also beyond the project teams. And in the best case scenario, our entire workforce in the company will be enthusiastic about new AI functions. We show that it is feasible, that it can be fun. And most importantly, we break down reservations. We gather more acceptance in our employees. And we create acceptance in our workforce. And of course, we will make mistakes, but we will learn from them and we can do better in the next use case. And this also can then be incorporated into our strategy, for example. So we have to have an iteration and a learn and adapt cycle between our bottom-up and top-down approaches. And at this point, I would like to hand over to my co-host Georg, who will guide you through the journey of the Stadtwerke Speyer.
Thank you very much. We call our product SWS GPT, and let's take a look to our journey. And in Speyer, we decided to go our journey step by step. So our starting point was ChatGPT is on everybody's lips. Every employee uses it, so we need rules and a secure solution. And on the other hand, we want to become more efficient and make work easier. So we needed to ensure a responsible and secure approach to using AI. Sasha, you can to next step. There are three main drivers: the European AI Act, data protection requirements for company information, and the global monument in the AI world. The conclusion: we need a solution that protects our data while allowing us to benefit from AI. Sasha, can you please show the whole presentation? Oh.
There's something
doesn't work. In the second step, the concept and collaboration, we started our project together with Interatect. And in Speyer, we want to brought in some external expertise about best practice and knowledge in the AI world. So we started an AI workshop to define relevant use cases for the Stadtwerke Speyer. The result was a clear focus on practical product support functions, and we don't want to experiment, so we started with real solution values. In the next step, the testing phase and training, we began with a 4-week pilot phase. We've selected people on our company to test the system and give a feedback to Iteratech. So we designed our first SWS GPT. Afterwards, we provided target training in small groups, only with 20 people. And the next step was the go live after a successful pilot and training. SWS GPT was rolled out to all of our employees. This enables us to use AI company-wide in a controlled, secure, and productive way. The next slide, please. So the main use case are analyzing and summarize files, text editing, code generation, and idea generation and brainstorming. The most employees in our company used SWS GPT to summarize some data or writing some emails. And the next steps are speech input, real-time data access, personalized prompts, smartphone usage, integration of internal chatbots with access to internal data. So in Speyer, we started the introduction to our own GPT with small steps. And in the future, we want to use our own SWS GPT connected to some other systems in our company. We want to use it with our website to chat, to interactive with the customers, and we will use SWS GPT for writing some mails in the customer support.
Thank you very much for the insights. And as you have seen, there are still many great ideas for how to further develop SWS GPT. But in fact, with this company-owned GPT, we have also laid a very important foundation for the Stadtwerke Speyer for further applications far beyond SWS GPT. And to illustrate this, I would like to give you a brief insight into the infrastructure of such a company GPT. So, of course, we have a web UI, and we have a user who can talk to an AI model via the chat interface. So far, so good. However, this model is located in our own cloud, namely the Microsoft Azure cloud of Stadtwerke Speyer. So this model, this AI model here, GPT-4, for example, this model has nothing to do with the AI model that you access if you are on chatgpt.com. Rather, it is, so to speak, it's a copy in your own cloud. This means that your employees don't have to worry when they write personal or internal company data in the chat, because it is not leaving your cloud services. Of course, we also want the model to be able to access, for example, the internet. So we have to make that possible, because it's not a built-in function. And then, as Georg already mentioned, we want to feed the model with all kinds of internal data. So it could be internal drives, document folders, it can be Confluence documentations, it can be access to third-party systems like a CMS or an ERP system. And still, we're only talking about a chat interface where I can talk to an AI model. But and this AI model can now maybe provide excellent answers to internal company questions. But what people tend to forget is what we also have now. We have this AI model in our own cloud, accessible via an interface, not only a chat interface, but it can also be accessible via API keys. And surely we can do more of that than just the chat interface. And that's exactly where I would like to stimulate your imagination a little bit about. Of course, we don't have time here to list the 50 most amazing AI use cases for Stadtwerke in Germany or anywhere else. But I would like to open up a few categories where you can find your AI use cases. So when we're talking about generative AI, the first category is obvious. It's generating new content. This content can be text, audio, images, videos, even podcasts, graphic visualizations. Different tools have different options. A chatbot as an interface is often the first step. But imagine if every email sent to your company could first be analyzed by an AI model. Important information can be extracted from the email and entered into the right fields in your CRM or ERP system. Or certain triggers are reached and the system automatically creates an email to your customer. In the future, it will no longer be necessary to think in terms of user groups. You know, we do that, for example, in marketing. We think in user groups because we want to target specific user groups with different content. That's no longer necessary because in the future, we will be able to have an AI write, for example, an email specifically for Sascha Müller, not for the user group that Sascha Müller is in. But an individual mail just wrote for me. So we don't need these user groups anymore. And I'm sure you can think of a lot more use cases in this area. The next category, we call it refine. This refers to use cases in the field of knowledge management. All the knowledge that you have is or a lot of the knowledge you have is already documented. The question is, where can I find the right knowledge? So the task is to make this knowledge accessible again, and effectively, we can do that. We can do that a lot more effectively through large language models. As I already said, you can literally talk to your data. You can talk to your knowledge that you have. This is probably the biggest lever for effectiveness in larger companies, because the larger companies have so much documented stuff and no one knows where it is. No one knows what we have already documented. And then there's the area of research. We can use AI models to do research for us. For example, of course, in the internet, but also in our own data, to process large amounts of data, to simulate things that used to take weeks or months. Just to name one buzzword here is the digital twin. And last but not least, the interact category. As mentioned in the beginning, AI has entered the realm of the area of natural language. Let's take advantage of that. Systems, machines, programs can now talk to us, and we can talk to them. We can ask our machine, what's wrong with you? And language barriers, not only between human and machine, but also between humans, are probably a thing of the past. So we are moving towards a truly exciting future. I don't want to get carried away too much here. So I would just want to invite you to, if you want, network with me. We can talk about your use cases, because it's now my part to hand over back to Georg with a brief conclusion to our presentation.
Thank you very much. Our conclusion in Speyer is that the introduction of AI doesn't have to be a giant leap. Even medium-sized Stadtwerke can take a small, focused step to make AI part of our daily work. By taking these steps, we can reduce fear, helping employees feel confident and secure when working with new technologies. We can build acceptance, ensure to everyone understands the benefits and it's ready to engage. And we can lay the foundation of innovation, creating an environment where new ITs can flourish. Step by step, this approach generates added value, drives efficiency gains, and in the future, we will concentrate more on focused work. The keys are courage to change, people first, and see the value of AI. By following this path, AI becomes not a threat, but a partner, helping us work smarter, serve our customers better, and prepare our company for the challenge of tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Back to you, Anne.
Yeah, thanks to you too. That was very interesting. And I see quite a few questions already. So maybe just a reminder to the audience, if you do have any questions, if you would like to dig into somewhere a little bit deeper, just let us know by the F&A tool or use the chat. I try to manage both and hand them over. I see that there's people raising their hands. Unfortunately, there's no possibility to add you to this conversation, but as Sasha just said, I think the two guests are available afterwards if you want to have a personal chat. So first of all, maybe to get back to the SVS GPT, as you called it, could you maybe give us a few more info? How was this designed? What what documents did you feed into it to get what sort of answers? So what are the key components, so to say?
Shall I continue with sharing or should I stop?
If you don't want to go back to any slides, I think you can stop to share it.
First of all, I will answer the question about data types. And first steps, we started with easy ways. We started with PDF data. So people could upload some PDF data to summarize the data. And it was the first step. We started with external data. In the next steps, we started with Microsoft Office data. And in the future, we will connect the system with some email data. And probably Sasha can follow up.
I mean, I would say we just set the groundwork. Maybe some of you have heard of the system of an infrastructure of an architecture that is called retrieval augmented generation, short RAG. And this is I did not want to go into that in the presentation because that just leads us, I don't know, into maybe too technical discussions. But it basically allows us, on the one hand, to connect to different sorts of data. We are vector databases, so we can feed whatever data we want into these vector databases. And in the future, like Georg already mentioned, the idea is to really connect to other systems. So the system is able to read real-time data, because if you are working with vector databases, you have to insert the data into the vector database. So you have to do that. I don't know if you're working with data that changes very often. That's not the best scenario. But currently, we only have these vector databases in place. So it's not connected with the real-time data.
Mm-hmm. And why did you decide to go for a generative AI instead of a classical AI? I mean, you pointed out the differences in the beginning, but the person says there's a lot of different classical AI options, so load forecasting, PV forecasting, grid estimation, etc. Is that something that you think you will add to the generative AI, or did you try to use it for something else?
A very difficult question because first of all, we want to start or we want to build a secured solution for our employees because in Germany, data is a very high and confidence thing. So we have to secure our data in our company, and we want to enable everybody in our company to use GPT. And probably if our customers write us some mails and our employees want to create the answer, our employee is not allowed to use ChatGPT. So we need to have a solution, or we have to decide that everybody in our company is not allowed to use ChatGPT. So we started with our own GPT. So every employee can use GPT, and it's an easy way to look in the future, get warm with GPT, and in the future probably can decide some solutions to make our work smarter.
Okay, I see. Yeah, it's more for project management, so to say, rather than grids, PV, etc. management. Yeah. Okay. Did you put in any KPIs? How do you measure the progress in this project?
First of all, the KPI was to engage everybody in our company to use our own ChatGPT. So we look forward to count how many people used seminars, the intern seminars, to look forward. And in the future, we will count the tasks of SBS GPT.
Yeah, makes sense.
If I can add something, ChatGPT created some kind of need to do something. Like Georg said, we have to provide something, an alternative. Otherwise, people are using ChatGPT. And I mean, to measure the results here, it's easy. You can see how many people are using that. Of course, there are hundreds more use cases that we can think of. But I mean, we have to see also. Stadtwerke Speyer is not, I don't know, Stadtwerke München or Stadtwerke Berlin, where they can say, okay, let's just start with 10 different AI projects simultaneously. So we decided, okay, the most important thing is to target that need, and also and to enable people to see what is possible. So in the best case scenario, employees come up with their own use case ideas to say, is it possible to use that for this and that, to create like a pull effect from the employees?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think that ties in with what you said, I think, in the very beginning, that it's now not that much about technology and the software, but rather about how do we get to the solutions, to think about what we can do with what we have technology-wise. So yeah, that makes sense. So maybe as a very last question, I know we haven't answered all of them, but I think you can get back to all of the technical details in a one-on-one. So maybe as a last question, what were your biggest surprises when you started this project or when you implemented it?
In Speyer, the biggest surprise was it was an easy way to start. And we have some quick wins. And furthermore, I think we are in a very good way to make our work smarter.
Okay, Sasha, any surprises from your side?
Well, I mean, I would say that let me answer it like, what are like typical surprises? Typical surprises are like, AI models do not just learn stuff while using them. It's not, because people think, okay, if I'm using that chatbot now over and over again, it automatically learns how I'm speaking, how the company works, and all that stuff. That's not the case. So you have to train these models in order to get them better, or there are anything else gets just more complicated here. And also, a lot of the functions that you are used to in ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatsoever, these are not functions from the AI model. These are also maybe toolings connected to the AI model. Just for example, the access to internet. An AI model in itself does not have access to the internet. You have to implement them. You have to show the AI model how to do a Google research and to scrape the data of a website and to get that into your context window, for example, into your short-term memory. So this is not built-in stuff within an AI model. This is something that's, I would say, commonly surprising for a lot of people.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, thank you so much. It was very interesting to dive into how and what you're doing with the SOS GPT. I hope that sparked some inspiration for some people. At least I think that might be a very interesting thing to think about even further for us, maybe even. So, as I said, the two gentlemen are available afterwards for one-on-one discussions if you want to dive deeper into any of the topics that we just mentioned. We will send around the presentation slides afterwards, and you have the contact details in there. So there should be no problem in getting one-on-ones. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Do you have any final words?
All needs to say have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks
Have
to
a
you.
nice